Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the Whirlpool Refrigerator Solenoid assembly. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new solenoid, the new arm assembly, and 2 mounting screws. The solenoid assembly is actually what allows your dispenser to change from crushed ice or cubed ice. So the main reason you'd be changing it out is if the solenoid shorted or if the arm broke and it's not allowing your dispenser to switch between the two. For this repair, we have to open up the freezer door. Now that we have the freezer door open, we have to get access to the part. So we're going to lift this door open, slide it out of the way, and then we're going to remove the ice bucket, which all you have to do is pull it out a little bit and then lift up on it and pull it out the rest of the way. In order to get this panel out and get access to the parts, we have to take out the 4 corner screws. Use a 1/4-inch nut driver to take the screws out. Once you have the 4 screws out, we can lift it out and set it down onto the shelf. And then we have to take a flathead screwdriver, release the wire harness clip, and pull the harness out of the back wall. Once that's disconnected, you can pull the assembly out of the freezer. Now that we have the assembly out of the freezer, we can take the wires off the solenoid. So we can use a small flathead screwdriver to help you pop them off. Just remember this pink color connector was on top and the blue one was on the bottom. Now that we have the wires disconnected, we can turn it over and remove the 2 1/4-inch screws that hold the solenoid in. Now that we have the screws out, we can pull the assembly out. Here's the old solenoid assembly next to the new solenoid assembly. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. Okay, as you're putting this in, the only thing you have to remember is that these 2 pins go in the slots down here. And when you lay the solenoid down, just make sure that the terminals are facing towards the motor. So once you have it in there, we have to turn it over and line up the holes and then put the new screws in. This particular part, just like many parts that Whirlpool makes, doesn't have any threads, so it's going to be a little bit harder than normal to put the screws in, but you just have to drive them through the metal to cut yourself some new threads. Alright, the last thing we have to do is turn it back over and reconnect the wires. Remember, the blue one was on the bottom and the red was on top. If you have to, use a little screwdriver to press down on them to make sure they seat all the way. Alright, now that we have the solenoid assembly installed, we can put this assembly back into the freezer. Alright, to put the assembly back in, we have to slide it back into the freezer and set it down. Before we can put the mounting screws in, we have to reconnect the wire harness, which plugs into the side over here with the clip on the bottom. Make sure it locks into place, and then we can lift the assembly up onto the mounting pegs and put the screws back in. Okay, now that we have the assembly mounted back in their freezer, we can slide the ice bin back in, which all you have to do is set it on the rails and slide it into place. Now that you're done repairing your refrigerator, you can plug it back in, make sure that it starts to cool off, and that the temperatures return to normal. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.